Hello, everyone, and welcome to my happy place. It's February and Love Month, so in honor of that, we're going to use our scraps to make some fabulous hearts. And what I'm doing right now is I took a piece of cardstock and a bunch of my strips of small scraps that I've had. I separated the scraps. I've tried to find the pink and the reds, and because they're, you know, Valentine colors. I thought they'd be really good for hearts. You could really, hearts, you could do them in any color really that you wanted to, but I decided to do mine in pink and red. So I found all those scraps and I'm just kind of going through and gluing them down on the paper and trying to figure out where I want them. There's not really much rhyme or reason. I'm just kind of trying to make sure there's no white spaces and filling them in. So I'm using my art glitter glue and I'm just gluing them down. And it's really a good way to get rid of, some of your thinner paper scraps. I've been really trying hard to get rid of my scraps, so I thought this would be a good way to do that and to give me some kind of cool looking hearts. And actually that scrap I'm using right there was from another project where I used washi tape on paper. So those stripes were washi tape, which actually turned out pretty cool. And I will probably definitely do that again because I really liked the effect that it had. And I have a ton of washi tape and I don't seem to use it. I'm kind of a collector of it. So I'm really liking. See, there's another piece of the same with washi tape. So yeah, I'm really liking that effect with the washi tape on the cardstock. It's kind of cool. And it's even cooler when you emboss it because then it makes it look like it's, part of the cardstock there. And we're just keeping on gluing them down. I had quite a bit of red, I guess left over from Christmas, and not as much pink, but I had more pink than I thought I did. But I do use a lot of pink when I'm making cards. That's like one of my go-to colors. Usually when I'm making cards, I really like pink and it's girly. And now I'm just trying to go in and fill in some spots there that were had a little bit too much white for me that I wanted to try to get those filled in. So I'm kind of just using the scraps to do that. I would say there's no rhyme or reason, but there is kind of, you kind of get an eye for what will look okay there. You don't want too many reds together or, too many pinks. So you kind of try to, or too many of some of them, I had the same pattern as some of them. So I was trying to keep those apart a bit. There we go. And see, we used quite a bit of scraps, for this project to get on that piece of paper there for sure. Now we're just trimming it up. And here I'm looking to see if I had these little paper pieces of lace, and I wanted to see if I wanted to add those to it or not. And I'm trying to make that decision right now. That's kind of my thought process. And I decided I kind of like them. They're kind of random, but this particular lace, a lot of it has hearts itself on it. So I thought that might be kind of cool. So I'm just and I am putting more glue on the lace than I normally would because I do know that it's going to be cut apart. So, because normally I kind of just put a strip and so it's a little bit freer. These are the heart dies that I'm going to use for this particular part. And so we're just using the Big Shot and stick him on the magnetic board and stick him on there and getting him cut out. And like I said, there's no like rhyme or reason to this. I'm just trying to fit him in. Actually, when I was doing it, it kind of reminded me of making cutout cookies, because you're just kind of trying to get the most out of a piece. So you're kind of, laying them on there to try to get, use the most of the paper as I can, but I still want them, to look good. There it was a little bit difficult in some spaces. It didn't want to quite cut through. So right back there, I was just trimming that up a little bit. But for the most part, they went through pretty well, considering it's, more than one layer of paper. These dies did a pretty good job of cutting through. I mean, in some, it's 3 layers, really, where the lace is. So yeah, that cut pretty good, and I felt like it did a pretty good job. And I like the way they're turning out. I think they would be great to use on cards. I can see people doing them and using them in their junk journals. You could use them in scrapbooking. I mean, there's so many things you could use these for that I think they're turning out pretty cute, actually. And, it didn't really take that much time to do them. And you could do them with circles. You could do them with any shape. You could just do them, cut them into squares. You could cut them into tags for tag shape. The possibilities are really absolutely endless with this. I could see doing this, and I am going to do many more sheets with this. I think 2 colors is probably enough, although you could do one and just add any scraps you wanted, I suppose. Now, I decided I was going to emboss just a few of them. I didn't emboss all of them. I kind of wanted to emboss some of the bigger ones and some of the ones that were a little bit more plain. And so I did that. And they turned out actually really good. Thanks for stopping by my happy place. See you next time.